This here's a little video I wanted to show. Um, this is what you know, I was asking how to do this, if anybody knew how to write the code in, but apparently no one knew, so I took a little time and figured it out. This is a copy of Foreverlands. This server that I'm on right now is just a copy I'm testing on right now before I put it live on my server. This is a PvE Freedom server. As you can see, I have put the tabards in. Any tabard can now be created, made by the player. They can wear whatever they want. Don't have to be in a specific faction or anything like that. You know, doctor it up a little bit. This is basically for them to do. But yeah, a lot of people said it can't be done without having to put a model in. The thing of it is, you know, there's already a model. It's hard to explain. I'll try to explain a little bit here for people to understand a little bit more about the game and its mechanics and pretty much any game. Alright, what you're looking at here, in this screen right here, what we have is we have a icon. And when we throw the icon on the ground, as you can see, well, he's got rocks here. No, did I throw it on the ground? I threw it on the ground. Go in another box. I hate that things go. Yeah, it did. Alright, let me just walk away from all this here. Get away from his construction here. And better yet, let me just go somewhere I know I'll litter it up. I'm going to go to the starting city, Grimwell, and we'll do this here. Shouldn't be no crap on the ground out here. I try to come by and clean it as much as possible if anybody leaves anything on the ground, but okay. This is an icon, and when we throw it on the ground, we get a bag. Anything that doesn't have a model gets a bag. Tabards don't have a model, so they will get a bag. If I take a piece of my gear off and I drop this on the ground, as you can see, the Dragon Scale armor actually has a model, a physical model. This is not the model that actually determines the texture on your character. This is just a physical model so you can see the object in the world, in the game world. The model that actually sits on your character itself is actually the model. If you were to pull the character's model file into Maya or 3ds Max, you will realize that every piece of gear that exists that can go on this avatar is on that model already. It's a system where you can call with code which pieces are going to show up and which pieces are going to be invisible. Every piece shows on that model. So the model of the tabard was already there. It's just how you call that model and that texture. Since the texture is pretty much identical in everything on every one of the avatars, except for the image picture, but the way it's stretched onto the model of the tabard and all, it actually, how do you say, the model's there, and that's what the texture's got to stretch across. So whenever, you know, I say when I drop this, the heck? Oh, I highlighted it. Whenever I drop this on the ground, this texture has been stretched across this as well as the one that actually is on this model. If I was in Max, I could show you every piece of the gear is on the model. This is why I was trying to ask, you know, when I came into chat that day, I was trying to ask, how do you write it in? People think it's impossible. It's not impossible because the model's not the same as the model. You know, the models of the gear on the character is different than it is on the models of the objects you see in the game. The model that you see in the game that ain't on an avatar is an actual physical model that can be seen. It's an actual physical model on the character, but it is glued to the character. It can't come off the character. It can only be hidden or shown whenever it's applied. So like anytime you put a piece of gear on in code, it tells it you put that piece of gear on, so everything is hidden except for the gear that you are wearing. That's how the code actually works. So when I was asking how to do this, just took a little time to figure out what they were doing in the code, to figure out where they done it, to be able to do this. It ain't really got nothing to do with faction, uh, or having to write code in faction or anything to get this to happen in Freedom. This is a simple, I'm going to give you a hint. This is an XML file thing. Um, Basically, you can do some alteration in the XML file, and you can have all the tabards in Freedom Server. It's basically, you just have to know what you're doing. But yeah, I just wanted to let people know, for those that are not aware, your avatar's models are not the same as in the game. They're two different types of models. Okay, I just want to be clear with that. These models on the avatar are skinned on him. Whenever most modelers, when they create skins and armor, a lot of people use oh great, mine's blank. Um, ZBrush. ZBrush is a very good, very intensive, highly used piece of software that allows us to take a model, bring it in, a naked model, bring it in, and draw armor on it. Just add the mesh, build it up, build up the chest piece, build up whatever. Pretty much, all your AAA games, they're using ZBrush, or they make their own version of like ZBrush. Like Sony, they have their own tools. Their engineers up there develop a lot of the software for them the way they want it, the way they need it. But a lot of companies do use ZBrush. But I just wanted to point that out, that it's not the same, so it doesn't work the same. You don't have to go in code and go into mapping.txt file and write all these mappings down and call for a model file and then call for a texture file. The texture is going to be spread the same on that tabard, which is a chest, and I can't remember which chest number offhand, and then you got the tabard piece, which is the bottom half down here. This here's the tabard piece, and this right here is a chest piece. This skin, the top part of the tabard goes over the skin of the chest, and the bottom part goes over what is called a tabard on the model itself. But the top part is actually a chest. It's not called a tabard when the top part of the skin is stretched over the model. I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, it is possible. You don't have to have a model. You don't have to create a model for it. You just have to know where you need to be changing the information so it can change and you can have it in here. I mean, basically, you just create a bunch of new item templates create an item template for each one of these, and then you can just call them like that. You don't have to add anything to the mapping.txt. You just do some little changes to the XML file, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, it is possible. You can do it. And no, I'm not going to tell nobody how to do this, because this is a special thing for my server. This is what makes my server stand out. So I hope everybody can understand. This is not a mod I'm going to do for anybody or anything. Anything I do on my server is for my server and the people on my server and my server alone. But have a good one. Know it's possible. You can do this, and you don't need the model, and you don't have to do anything with the mapping.txt file to actually put this on a Freedom server. So hope this helps you, get to the right place if you're trying to do this. XML file, add add your new item templates for each one of them, and XML file. Remember that. All right. Have a good one.